Heritage Foundation, the brainchild of filmmaker, archivist Shivendra Singh Dungarpur, is the only non-government film archive in India and the only other Indian member of the International Federation of Film Archives (FIAF), besides the National Film Archive of India (NFAI). The current book seems a natural progression to bring to life the writings of the man who made a difference in the lives of many of India's successful film directors. Megastar Amitabh Bachchan, who is the brand ambassador of the organization, was to launch the book Yesterday's Film for Tomorrow by film archivist P.K. Nair, but couldn't turn up as he was suffering from high fever. However, at the book launch by the Film Heritage Foundation, the country's only non-government film archive, the other invited celebrities such as Naseeruddin Shah, Shyam Benegal and Vinod Chopra were present and did the honors and read excerpts from the book.
Wish that P.K. Nair Sahab had received the recognition that he deserved in his lifetime. But that is one of those things which we have no control over. I do not think that there could be a greater service rendered than what Nair Sahab did to the recording, the preservation, the searching out of old films, the recording of history, the painstaking labor that he put. I used to wonder when we were students, okay, what does this man sit and note down all the time? Why doesn't he watch the damn movie? I didn't realize he was watching the movie and making notes, and copious notes about every little detail of every single movie. It's just impossible to imagine that there could be a man who gave his whole life to just loving movies. And that's the only way I can put it.
What Nasir said, all I can say that I don't think I would be standing here but for Mr. Nair. I think he didn't only, of course, preserve everything, and like Nasir said, I still remember that little torch in the corner. But he was probably the only teacher I had at the Film Institute. He was the best teacher because he taught us by showing us cinema and talking about it. And I'll never forget, there was a print of Breathless and I wanted to study it, and he could not officially give it to me, Nasir. So you know how Nair Sahab seriously walked, and he just said, Kokji and Dalvi were project. Print you keep here at night. And then he walked away, just telling them to keep the print. And then Dalvi said, Nair Sahab bole, tum raat ko le jao, study karke aao. This was the kind of man he was, and that is why I'm here. And I would do anything for Mr. Nair. And I agree with him. If the powers that be are listening, he deserves to be whatever, Padma Bhushan. For me, he deserves to be Bharat Ratna. Actually,
he deserves the highest honor.
He absolutely and totally deserves.
I'm absolutely delighted to be here. Shivendra, of course, has been with his Film Heritage Foundation doing exceptional work. But before that, I think, there are now, I always used to think of two people as being quite extraordinary in terms of cinema. One was Henri Langlois, who created the Cinémathèque in France. And he was quite an extraordinary figure because I think he collected more films than anybody else. And so the entire kind of world cinema he put together, particularly between the two wars, the First and Second World War.
For us, it's been a very memorable time because when Nair Sahab passed away, one of the best gifts I could get was all the material which he possessed, he left behind for us in the archive at the Film Heritage Foundation. And I think for us, it was a starting point that what could be done with that material we have. And no better tribute can be made than the book which has come out of all that material we've had to reach out to millions of fans. One of the things Nair Sahab did was that even after he finished his tenure at the NFAI as a director, he refused to go back to his lovely home in Kerala, but stayed in a small little dingy flat right next to the NFAI. And the idea was that he wanted to propagate, he didn't want to be away from film critics, film scholars, film fans, anybody to do with cinema, because I don't think he knew anything but cinema. So this book is something which has been compiled together for the very first time of all his writings, which will reach to millions of people. And I think that's why Vinod came on board, that what he's been propagating. And he's the only man in history of Indian cinema who talks about the object, he talks about being a film fan, film critique, language, projection, every form of cinema is someone which you will, and it's a passionate person talking about. So we are very proud to be associated. We are very honored that both Vinod and Mr. Naseeruddin Shah and Shyam Babu, who's here, have taken out time to be with us and support not only the cause of what Nair Saab stood for, but also the foundation, which is very important in taking his legacy forward.
Big B, the foundation's brand ambassador, however, sent a letter of apology to the organizers, which the foundation's founder, Shivendra Singh Dungarpur, shared with the media. It is the rich heritage which we follow in the film industry, and we have veterans who are the pillars of this huge industry.